So yesterday I went to lower the jack and the handle came off. Now this holds the handle in, a little screwy thing, and there's a groove here. The problem is this piece came off. That piece is supposed to be welded on there. And as such, I couldn't turn the handle to turn this to lower this. So I went in there and unscrewed that so the thing would go down, and then I unscrewed this and turned it over and this flipped out. So now I gotta weld that on there. It looks like it was welded, but not very well. So we're gonna go ahead and clean that up and get to welding. This came with a 90-day warranty, so it's clearly not under warranty anymore. Okay, well, this doesn't have to be beautiful, and we're going to grind the piss out of it, but right now I'm going to take it to my remote wash-up station. So I used this a bunch yesterday. I washed my hands in this remote station. There you go, nice and cool. Yeah, that'll work. We'll clean it up a little bit with the grinder wheel. Let the rust converter dry all night, and then I put some galvanizing paint on here so it has a lot of zinc, which helps prevent some rust, and then tomorrow we can use it. So yesterday I added a shelf over here, cleared this off. I'm going to start using this when I'm working on cars, and I want to take all my extra sockets and stuff and maybe my wire wheels and migrate them into here. This has a nice little storage for all the screwdrivers and stuff, plus the grinders. So if I get this in use, so basically I got to get off this. Got to get this off because I want to work on the car and get this bad boy running. She's got some issues. So things I know, I need to replace the brake cylinders. I need to fix a brake line somewhere, or maybe it's the brake cylinders that are leaking. I need to flush the gas out and clean the tank and maybe replace the fuel pump. These are not large things to do. But once I get it running, I need to get, I think the rear brake, one of these is seized, so I need to unseize that. I need to get it out, around, and back on and up the lift, and I get to transmission off. So there's a seal on the transmission, and it's the input seal, and it goes so that the fluid just leaks right out. So, but once I get that out and replace that seal, which is probably going to be a $10 item, now I can actually start driving this. There's nothing preventing me from driving this other than the fact I pour a quart in of transmission fluid, and it takes like 21 quarts, and a quart comes out. So it doesn't work very well. But then theoretically I can start working on the body work. I got some things to fix. I don't have a lot of rust. I got the fender here, and I got the fender on here, and this corner panel needs to be replaced. That actually shouldn't be that hard, but I haven't done that type of work before. So yeah. And of course, I need a new Vanna top and all that fun stuff. But the interior is in pretty good shape considering she's 50 years old. Probably Probably a little dusty. Yeah, I got a plate for it. The smell, not so good. So, anyhow, first step is to get the shit off of it. I see you, little kitty. What you doing there, kitty? You looking for Mises? All these restaurants now, there's probably some Mises around here. He's going for a stroll. Oh, he's hiding from the landlord maintenance guy. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Oh. I have a feeling he feeds him. Ooh, he's looking pretty well fed. Yep, that's dog poop. But that's good because we are at the vet and they want a fresh sample. Ain't gonna get any fresher than that. Mr. Grumpy Pants won't let me cut the hair out of his face. You ready to get some blood works? Get some shots? Puppies like shots? Puppy didn't like treats. No cash for me today. Well, it's Friday morning and I'm going off to work, but we're taking the truck and we're taking the bed because that's my other job, moving people stuff and setting up furniture. So that's going to Sophia's house. Apparently she learned that leaving a mattress on the bed is an invitation for the cat to pee on the bed. So she wants to raise it up. So that's what we're doing today, after work, of course. I'm pretty certain this will be here at the end of the day. This place is pretty safe. Well, let's see. Enhance. Still a handlebar there, so it must still be there. Somebody seems awfully comfortable over there. That's where he belongs. This little guy just waltzed right up here. I'm trying to trim the dog's hair, and the cat's getting in on this, getting around her face. I guess she's really lonely. I don't know. This one ain't helping me groom. She keeps batting the fur as I cut on Spike. You happy? Busy morning puttering around. We're gonna donate this to a friend that has an antique store, but I need to find and put 4 screws in there because the bottom kept falling out. Then I went to trim some trees and I got tired of the old rope here that was in pieces and it finally came down to a little string, so we replaced that with a new one. Had to remove and improvise on that a little bit, but the old one lasted 15 years, so hopefully this one will as well. So now I can trimulate. That's food. I'm gonna charge the battery. Oh, and I'm, still working towards the dream of freeing the car. So I got most of the hood off here. And I've added some more shelves yesterday over here. Light, engage. Over here, I'm gonna add another one up there. Then I gotta sort through these. Unfortunately, because of my access issues, I haven't really been using all this, and maybe it's time to, I know about those. I rarely remember the lubricants there, but then a lot of things are left over. I've decided I'm definitely gonna stay with this. I added a box here just because there's just things, I need things, but this tray I can pick up and plop somewhere. Got to downsize this eventually. So next we're gonna work on over here. I did get rid of all the grinding stuff that's in the Z drawer, and now I can pull this out pretty much. I'm still thinking about maybe moving the bench over, maybe mounting this over there. If I just kind of, and then just losing all this, because this is wasted space. I don't need a trash can here. I put a trash can here because of this. It's just, this doesn't fit in there. But if I can put this over there and move the bench over, let's say, right about here, then I got better access over there, and I can put a shelf in there and use that space better. So it's all about maximizing the space. Like over here, I am pretty maximized. Now, the other advantage is if I get this over here, I don't know what I could do right over here. Probably pretty much nothing, but at least there's less stuff. Like this always gets in the way of moving out the cart. And if it's just that, it's back farther. Then got to downsize some things here. I did get a new one of these because this one, she's missing a wheel, and I can't find wheels for it. It was it was only $2 more for a new one. And I like this one more because The up and down didn't work anyhow, so I just scoot around. You don't want to go up and down, you don't miss it. Chainsaws, I'm gonna slide in back there. I gotta work on one of these and get it running. The Husqvarna, I think it's in there. Then I think I'm gonna finally say goodbye to the trash can, or I'm gonna say goodbye to that trash can. One of the two. I don't need two here. This is just normal stuff. This I can empty out soon. This is a polymer I found in the trash. I know it's a polymer because it says Polyseal. Basically, I used it on the garage floor, which is slowly wearing off, but it's old. It stinks. But the part I haven't done is pretty much under the Marauder. So if I move the Marauder, then I can do that. And then I got to work on this. But anyhow. Oh, and these are going to go in there. Because these are metrics, lots of metrics that I use. And then these are not, these I can probably store someplace else. These are all inches. Just kind of got that to organize it. Some of these are really old. So and then I got to downsize the screwdrivers. Some I'm going to keep for the kids. The others I'm going to purge. So anyhow, it is what it is. But it's getting there. I mean, you can almost see most of the hood. It's pretty good. Then there's that. Been thinking about that. I think the little ones, I'm just going to put in the basement. The little thin ones, and just leaving the big ones. I did downsize a bunch of cardboard. That's important. And Joe's sleeping bag, I think that could go up there. So, and I don't know what to do with this thing. They told me it's stainless steel. It is not. Basically, oh, you can go to the basement. It's supposed to be a wind thing. But, and it's got little tiny ball bearings in there. I don't know if you can see them in here. There's little tiny ball bearings in there. But the fucking thing rusted within like a week. Flash rusted. So I was thinking about just kind of putting it underneath the porch. But the rusting thing bothers me. So I don't know what to do with it. I probably should just put it in that orange container. And then I'll purge it. I'm waiting for a friend of Joe's and I'm admiring the barn construction. So this is post and beam. And set the joists. Hand hewn. This is fairly new. You can see the salt marks there. That's band salt marks. You see the definite hewn character here. That camera doesn't work because it's, well, it is connected to something. You can definitely tell hand hewn here. I want to move a barn on our southern property. Post and beam. Holy Toledo. Look at this. A little electrical charging station. You do have to pay for it, but oh, I guess you gotta lock it in there. At the library. Yep, this is Aurora. Interesting. So this must be 220. I don't know if it does Tesla. Maybe that's why there's two there. I know the one for Joe's car and Talia's car. Talia's got a plug-in hybrid. She just doesn't plug it in. Why didn't you know this existed? This is a museum with things from Aurora. That's cool. Edison record. This is unique because the grooves went up and down, hence the vertical. I'm gonna have to come back. Toys. Everybody likes toys. Cheese. A lot of people don't know that Aurora, Portage County was a very, very large cheese making place. I still have one of those, except I paid for it. So this is all cheese making equipment. Huh. I'll definitely check this out. Of course, this always pisses me off when I see this, the old Jogga Lake that they closed about 10 years ago, like idiots. They being the Cedar Fair. Look at that bad boy. You could take the train there. All over Ohio. Heck, all over the U.S. could get you there. Would I become mayor of Hiram? I want one of those. That's what Hiram lacks. One of those. Or a tank. Or probably this. I want this. So, this is called Durthix Hill. This is the Durthix farm. It's all around. They have a big corn maze. But this year, they planted sunflowers. And you can pick your own sunflowers. So, yeah. All sorts of sunflowers. Just rows and rows. Never guess on the way back from dropping off the furniture at my friend's, Joe's friend's place. I stopped at a few sales. So first place I stopped, I spent a total of $3. So these are bits for like a Dremel. I know so because it says so. And hands. Some various wood screws, some big root screws, and some conduit clamps. This is friction tape, so it looks like electrical tape, but it's actually got some friction. Good for like wrapping around headphones. Then I grabbed this. This is important. Philips, work for them. Just cleaned your CDs. I got me a ball jar for the lady that wants ball jars. I'm gonna try and fit this on one of the missing chairs. You'll see that later. A few CDs, a bunch of Telarcs, and hand sound. This is very important. Sean Coleman, didn't know that one. That one's good. Sinatra. Put that with the jazz. And Grammys for somebody. Book that she likes. Ant-Man. Trainwreck. Those are funny. Don't have that book. Love this CD. And then a Frank Sinatra. So, all the important things. Oh, no. Fairly decent cable. And got really close to the things that carry the telephone and the cable. People would be pissed off if they lost their cable, but that was very close. Oh well, made good sound. I don't, all that on 1/4 of a charge of that. It's amazing. I never touch my gas one anymore. Car left last Sunday. So we did a brake flush, and we checked the power steering fluid twice. It's clear. It's in good shape. The only thing we didn't do is the sparkulators. We did the serpentine belt. Sparkulators just didn't have it in me. The kid didn't come till 3, so I just did the brakes, took off every wheel, and we checked the power. And then we went over like maintenance things, like where do you put the Earl? How do you check the Earl? Never check the AT fluid. Hope there's enough. Plus, that doesn't have a dipstick. You gotta, I should check that. Yeah, oh well. I'm not known for my penmanship. That's supposed to be free. We're gonna try a bigger piece of cardboard. That didn't work out. Well, so since Tuesday last week, Olivia's been driving, or Sunday last week, the van, and I have this for 3 months. So just moving it back and forth, it's embarrassingly loud. So I raised the radiator. So the radiator has no support underneath there, and the zip ties I put on there a year ago broke, so I put some extra zip ties on here. This car was in a severe accident in 2011, 12, 13, I think it was 13, and like the whole front end was fucked up. So we found that out the hard way. That's why a lot of these things have been bent and rusted back together, pulled back together. But that support there is just, where my finger is there's nothing there. These things are supposed to be sitting on steel. So I might do the right thing and actually weld a piece in. I haven't decided yet, but we're gonna look underneath. I do know that if it rains, and I was kind of forewarned there'd be a special sound, the snake belt squeals. So I'm gonna order a new snake belt. And she's running really rough, so I pulled the coils off. These are the coils, and I'm just gonna pull the spark plugs out. And look at the spark plugs. They're gonna tell a story. I don't know what story they're gonna tell. I did check for Earl. We got Earl. It's on the lift because gets it out of the way. I think my wife's gonna take the green car for a couple days. This is a leaker, and the green car's a leaker. So stacking them physically would work, but it's probably not a good idea because the leakage is. I know the BMW leaks. This may not leak anymore. We had a period where Olivia thought, oh, my transmission's acting funny. I'll just add more fluid, to the point where she overfilled it. In fact, let's take a little peek here. And oh, yeah, it's still way over full. So that's good. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and pull them sparkulators out. At least on this car, I mean, they're right there, unlike the minivan. And the snake belt, you can at least see parts of it here. This is the hood holder upper, because the hood holder upper has never been there. Phrase that. The hood holder upper did come with the car, except it was of a different model and it didn't fit in the hole or over there. It was a random hood holder upper. So it fell off at some point when she was driving, because again, it wasn't attached to anything. Okay, let's see what story they're telling. Well, the good thing is they're dry. And I still got some of that stuff I put on to keep the this from oxidizing. But they're all black, which means they're running rich. So we'll have to Google on that. They were kind of loosage, but you don't want them over tight because this is aluminum head. So I'll have to dig up the torquillage. But we can go ahead and just clean those up a little bit. Check the gap edges. Gap edges? Gap it. Help. Look a little excessive. But I don't know what the gap should be on this one. That one looks better. So that might do something. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, they're definitely burning fluids, oil. And again, it's dry at the top, which is good. So the gasket for the thing is not leaking oil. So that's good. Okay, so Google on this, Google on the Torx. And I think the mass airflow sensor's right there. I might have to give it a little clean there, because maybe that is dirty, which would make this run richer. I'm not quite sure the inverse on that. What happens when the mass airflows? So if it thinks there's less air going through, and it's, I don't know. So here's a debate. So these are the ones I just took out, and I swapped these a while ago. Honda Civic 2011. But the original plugs are platinum plugs, and they don't specify a non-platinum plug. So I think I'm going to check all these. These should be 0.4. Clean them up and pop them in there. And notice that they're not bad. I mean, they're brown. They're a little, let's see, the tip there is brown. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm going to put these back in. We'll just clean them up. So this is the mass airflow sensor, and it's just got some little Phillips screws. I cleaned this one up already, and I couldn't get them out. I tried various screwdrivers, and you could tell it was going to strip. These bad boys, however, saved the day. So these are Kniptics. They're special pliers. They just look like regular pliers until you look at this. They got teeth edges. So I was able to slide them in and just cramp the fuck out of it and then twist. This didn't even move, but then I was pushing down pretty hard on it. So we're going to go ahead and clean that other one up, put a little anti-rust in there, and then wash this with a special fluid for cleaning mass airflow sensor. So this measures how much air is going through the system, which affects how much gas to give the system. So it's kind of important. The engine won't run right without this working properly. So it's worth cleaning. You should be able to see the gap here. This from here to here. So I could weld in a piece of steel across here, but you see I got to go back pretty far. But then I realized this is here. This is the subframe. So maybe I just clamp something here just to kind of take the weight off of this. But it's definitely free floating. Oh, the rest of it seems fine. And again, this got smushed. They bent that back. This was a little loose, so I tightened that up. Transmission's leaking, partially because it's over full, but I'm not quite sure exactly why. I thought I'd find like these rattling, because usually I hear those rattling, and they seem to be pretty good. Well, maybe this is the one that's rattling. Feels like there's something bent there. Like, I don't. I think we'll just. I'm changing the tone. Oh, yeah, rock. Huh. So, I wonder if there's another rock up there. Sounds like it. Yeah, there's some things back there. We'll blow some compressed air through there. I went ahead and undercoated with the CRC and the rust converter and just kind of, you know, in case I ever have to go there. Now this is definitely rubbing, but I don't think that's going to make a rattly sound. That's definitely got a rattly type. Again, there's just stuff back there. So need a new snake belt. So I'm not sure if I can put it in easier down here. Probably have to do the same thing as the van, remove the wheel. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. It's solid there. I'd have to go back to here. I don't really have a lot of steel stock for this. See, that's all. I really need to go back to there, so straight across there. I'll have to think on that. Maybe some angle iron. The problem is welding this really thin metal that's not exactly fully, you know, there. It's kind of, I mean, I may be just better off going back to here. Just zip across there. We'll have to think on it. Meanwhile, I got the zip ties up there. I filled up all the fluids, leaked a little bit. This is my cylinder. I'm really not happy with this car lift, whether it be the fact that the powder coating is powder or the fact that this is already leaking after less than 10 years. No idea how to replace that. Or the fact that this just broke right off. Albeit it does have a bend to it. So we got to fix that even to get the car down. What is, that doesn't look right. That does not look right. Nope, that did not look right. Tires are, okay. So in Olivia's car, the seems to idle a little better. I haven't driven it a lot, but the rattle was gone because I found gravel underneath the shields, the exhaust shields, and I moved those around by getting it out of there. So it's quieter, at least it doesn't sit there and idle and rattle. So while I was moving my car, I wanted to go to the sale I went to yesterday because he gave me a bunch of Starrett stuff. A little tiny 2-inch ruler is beautiful, and a little angle thing that I can't even describe. It was a 90-degree angle. It looked like you put a ruler in and slide. I don't know, but that was the only thing I was gonna buy. And then I walked up and he's like, "You can have it." I'm like, "Are you sure?" It's like, "Yeah, I don't care." And so I went back and I bought other things just because obviously his price is gonna be really cheap because the prices marked were high. But this is the last day of the sale and he just wanted to get rid of stuff. So anyhow, they're closed. So I didn't, you know, the guy gave them to me for free and I left them there. I wasn't gonna go harass them. So maybe if they have a sale someday, I'll come by. Anyhow, so I stopped at this really funny sale because most of the stuff's free. And I spent $10 for this. This is a 2-inch exhaust clamp. She's stainless steel, used, but she's stainless steel. This is a very old brake flaring tool. It's gonna clean up. So basically it makes the flare on the end there. It's got different sizes. Needs some cleaning. 13 millimeter. Always need one of those. This is, I don't know what this is. It's rusty, needs cleaned up, but it looks like so cracking nuts. It's got the sharp edge there and there. So that's gonna be interesting. This is just for sharpening knives. Probably take that to work because you need those. And then steel wool doesn't go bad. That's pretty aggressive steel, number 2. Usually I use like 0.000. Sometimes a 4th 0, maybe a 5th. These are handy, and I ran out of these. Basically, they're little plates, but you can use a drywall screw to put them in, then put zip ties to put cables in. So basically, when you're running a cable, I'm pretty sure the adhesive's probably not working with us. And then obviously that's plug extender. Oh, UL certified. I know so because it said so. Then I got this. Oh, just clear finish. I think it's crystal clear. I don't know what it is. Nitro coconut oil. It's just clear finish interior. And then this is wood primer, which is also just linseed oil. So you're in the free pile. And then I got this. Wood screws. Like all the wood screws. And this thing's heavy. So this should be a lifetime supply. I think I'm going to keep it in this container and just mark it wood screws. But it is hefty. It's got to weigh 20 pounds. So yeah, I mean, nothing I really had to have, but things I'm going to use. And this, yeah, forever. Just wish they're brass, but steel works pretty good. Okay, well this cleaned up pretty well. I was able to free this. This tightens on the brake line. You've got different sizes. She's got patents, 1951. And then this slides across to hit whichever side you're going to do. And then this turns the flaring, but there's a hole right there, and there's a hole here. So when you pull this up, you can spin it, but when it's down, it's supposed to turn the threads down here. See how the threads aren't turning? So I got to make that part. Anyhow, this cleaned up pretty nicely. I was surprised though, when it's all the way in, there's still like an inch gap here. But it's patented August 18th, 1914, Knowlson number 3. So I'm going to Google on that and find out what that's for. This part spins, so it's something that you're grabbing onto. So that might be, you never know, that might be like a 1903 tractor part. And we're going to try and Google on this one. It did clean up pretty well. Looks pretty heavy duty. So time to go wash up and do some other stuff. Not sure this is a good lunch. Really powerful coffee, peanut butter and bananas, toasted wheat sandwich. We downsized a lot of the rocks. By we, I mean me and my back, and put them around the garden, which I'll show later. That was got a lot out of there. The window's dirty. It was heavy. I'm hot. So these are the rocks that I moved. Over here, and over here. And then I put these back. And then over here, that one. These guys. So I gotta come back. I think she wants them along there. Maybe along here. Definitely getting rid of the rocks. These are the rocks we got on Father's Day for free. Some guy had collected them for decades, and they're just a pile, all covered in dirt. Let's go get some more.